Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Jarosław Gowin will be dismissed from the government. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki has made this request to the President. The official reason is opposition to a fundamental change in taxes, including raising the tax-free annual allowance to 30,000 zloty. In May, Jarosław Gowin took part in the presentation of the assumptions of the programme, but then began to publicly criticise those very assumptions. Jarosław Gowin's former colleagues claim that he is driven by ambition to become Prime Minister. But his political group has only 4 members in the 360-seat parliament. His plan is not to leave the coalition or break it up, but to take the most important political position in Poland, that of Prime Minister. Earlier, he assumed that if he blackmailed his way out of the coalition and broke up the government majority, President Jarosław Kaczynski would step down and give him the post. For the first time since the 17th of June, the daily number of coronavirus infections has crossed the 200 threshold. The Health Ministry has warned of a possible 4th wave of the pandemic, and Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki wants police to protect the staff of vaccination centres because of the violent attacks committed last week. It is very important that staff at vaccination centres feel safe. However, those who plan such actions must know that they will be prosecuted and punished, not only with a fine, but also with imprisonment. This is a good time to calm these emotions and talk in a substantive way. Marian Banaś, the chairman of the Supreme Chamber of Control, has been accused of making false statements in his declaration of assets. The Sejm, the Polish Parliament, is proceeding with a motion to strip him of his immunity. The Committee of Procedure, Parliamentary Affairs and Immunity has been discussing the issue. It is in the interests of the voters and the public for the Supreme Audit Office to function. This looks like an act of revenge. Note the short time between the request for waiver of immunity and the deliberations of our committee. It is not difficult to see that there is a conflict, because the reports of the Supreme Audit Office were not liked by the Ministry of Justice. We are acting on the basis of the opinion of the Parliamentary Bureau of Analysis, according to which the request is correct and subject to consideration. The Sejm is not a court, and we only have to decide, based on the materials, that the motion is likely enough to be considered by a court. Recently, a group of 6 United States senators urged Polish President Andrzej Duda not to sign the amendment to the Code of Administrative Procedure. This amendment sets a 30-year time limit for examining property restitution claims. United States politicians think that this is targeted against Jewish claims. Presidential advisor Jakub Komoś wrote a letter giving an assurance that people deprived of their property will still be able to apply for compensation. I would like to assure that people deprived of their property will still be able to seek compensation through civil means. President Andrzej Duda will make his decision after the work on the amendment to the Code of Administrative Procedure is completed by Parliament. This year, Poland celebrates the 100th anniversary of Stanisław Lem, a prolific philosopher and science fiction writer. In 1976, fellow writer Philip K. Dick sent a letter to the FBI claiming that Lem did not exist, saying that Lem was probably a composite committee rather than an individual, and that Lem writes in several styles and sometimes reads foreign to him languages. The Warsaw part of the celebrations began today with a display of the original landing capsule of the Soyuz 30 spaceship in which General Mirosław Hamaszewski made his orbital journey around the Earth in 1978. Lem emigrated from his native Lvov to the city of Kraków, and the former capital of Poland is the host of a centennial festival called a Megabyte Bomb. Warsaw saw only a fraction of the attractions. This is the capsule used by cosmonaut Mirosław Hamaszewski to return from orbit in 1978. For us, it is a metaphor that passion and science allow us to touch the stars, and we invite everyone to such touching during a great event which will take place in Kraków from the 10th to the 14th of September. Lem's renown rests primarily on 3 works. Solaris is a deeply philosophical work about contact with an utterly alien intelligence, planet-girdling sentient ocean. His Master's Voice is another classic of traditional science fiction themes. It concerns an all-right effort by scientists to decode or understand what appears to be a message from the stars. Lem's 3rd great book is The Cyberiad, subtitled Fables for the Cybernetic Age. Read on one level, it is a collection of comic tales about 2 intelligent robots who travel about the galaxy, solving engineering problems. A deeper reading reveals a wealth of profound insights into the human condition.
Przewidział dużo więcej.
He foresaw much more than what surrounds us. He also foresaw what will surround us. He spoke of theoretically possible things, but he had a great intuition for human reactions, how human life will change under the influence of technology.
Możliwych, ale z jakimś takim niewyobrażalnym nosem do człowieka.
The current Year of Lame will culminate in an event that captures the intellectual genius of this writer and the huge range of his interests. The Megabit Bomb Festival, a bridging event combining the worlds of culture, technology and science, will take place in the city where the writer spent most of his life and where most of his books were written. We invite you from the 10th to the 14th of September to the ICE Kraków Congress Centre, the Potocki Palace, theatres, cinemas, galleries and many other venues. The festival is organised by the City of Kraków, KBF and the Stanisław Lem Institute of the Future. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.